So today, what I want to talk about is a topic that's important for any of the people watching this who have an attorney representing them in their case, or maybe they're going to be hiring an attorney or thinking about hiring an attorney. And what it is basically the 5 ways that you can save money with an attorney or limit your amount of spending on an attorney. Okay. It's 5 things that you can do to try to minimize your bill and the money that you're spending on their hourly rate and the time involved in your case. And the first thing, the number one thing, that may sound self-explanatory, but it's very important, and I want to make sure you guys are all doing it, is to make sure that you review the contract, the fee agreement, the engagement letter, whatever they call it. That's number one. And the reason why you want to do that is because the attorney, when you're hiring an attorney, they need to be very specific about what they're billing you for. So if you review that contract in detail, it's going to say in there exactly what you're going to get billed for, whether it be phone calls, whether it be, other members of the firm working on your case, whether it be emails or text messages or anything like that at all. Okay. Very, very important to do that. Very important to make sure that you're on the same page so that you know what you're going to be getting billed for, so that when you get that first invoice or whatever, you're not going to, your head's not going to spin off of your neck because you're getting billed for all kind of shit that you had no idea you were going to be getting billed for. So that's number one. Number two is to limit contact with your attorney. Okay. Now that might not sound very easy to do, but it is easy to do. Okay. And what I mean by that is if you know in your contract that you're getting billed for every phone call, every text message, every email to paralegal or staff or secretaries or whoever, then you need to limit that contact. Okay. And the best way that I can tell you to do that, and I'm going to get into a couple of those other ways how you can do that and some of these other methods that we're going to use to save money. But basically only call them for, important stuff and stuff that is basically immediacy of nature, or important things that you need to do to either prepare for your hearing or trial, or to basically, make sure you have your strategy set up going into trial or something like that. Okay. So that's number two way to limit the amount of money you're spending on a lawyer, is to limit your contacts with him or her. Okay. Be very, I guess the word you could use is be thrifty, be very thrifty with it. Don't expend a lot of time. And when you are on the phone with them or when you're emailing them, limit your issues. Like don't stay on the phone with them. We as humans have a tendency that when we're talking about an emotional topic, we have a tendency to ramble. Okay. Don't ramble. Don't stay on the phone. And, don't write emails that are like, a novel or ask a question that's going to result in an email that comes back that's like a 5-page email or something like that, or a novel back. Limit that contact. Be smart about that. That's number two. Number three is to keep your emotions in check. Okay. Keep your emotions in check. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about in the program discusses that with the mindset and the ego and the pain patterns and everything like that. Keep your emotions in check. And I have the wait an hour rule for when you're talking with your ex, or the other side, the other party in the case. But you can actually implement the wait an hour rule when you're talking about calling your attorney too, right? And that's a good way to limit your emotion in it. If something comes up, now obviously if something comes up like today, for example, I got a call from a client who was at an exchange and the child didn't want to be exchanged. Like that's different. That's something you really can't wait an hour. I mean, you could if you were just going to do let the whatever happen and then leave. But if you if you need an answer right then, you couldn't wait an hour. But for other situations that come up, a lot of the times you can wait an hour. And what that does is it helps you kind of not make a decision based on emotion alone, It helps you kind of take a step back to limit that emotion, which will in turn the goal of it is to limit the money that you're spending on the lawyer. Okay, so that's number three. Keep your emotions in check. Number four, and it's not like you guys already paid for the program, so I'm not trying to sell you anything. Number four is to learn as much as you can. Like dive into this program as much as you can, so that you already have like you already know enough that you won't need to ask questions about it. You already know enough about what's going to happen when you go into your hearing. You know what to expect when you're trying to communicate with your ex or when things happen. Okay. Learn as much as you can about the court process, the preparation process, all of that. And it's going to help you. And like I said, I'm not trying to sell you anything. You're already in the group. Use it. Like, utilize these calls as much as you can. If you can't get on the calls, then watch the replays, at least for the topic, because there's a lot of good information in here that now that you're paid and you're in this group, the more you learn in this group, the more you're going to be able to save on your attorney. Okay. That's number four. And number five, and finally, and it has to do with the program too, is utilize the social aspects of the program, which we have the Facebook group, obviously. And then in this new Custody Case Mastery 2.0, we're going to have the ability to comment and ask questions on each individual video lesson. Okay. Use that social aspect of the group. You will be surprised that not only are a lot of the people in this group very educated, they're very experienced in a lot of the same things that you're going through. So you need to remember that they're not attorneys, and you need to take advice with a grain of salt. But if you're talking to someone, like Bryn says, she's always open to chat. She's not only has she been through a lot, but she was one of my first students who sat through this entire program when I did it live. So she's been, and I think she had said before that she's been watched the videos too, like since then has watched the videos. So she's caught up on all of it. Now, again, she's not a lawyer, but she's been through so many different things like a lot of you are going through right now, and has gone through the program so much and has applied it to so many different aspects of her cases that she's a good one to rely on too. And there are other people in the group that are in the same boat, maybe not people that have such a broad base experience, but people that know about a specific issue and it can at least tell you what happened in their case. And while it might not be, it might not be like 100% like this is what you have to do, but what you could use it for is a benefit as to calm your nerves and calm your emotions, which in turn will save money. You understand what I mean? It's not like you're going to jump into this group, find like a 100% correct concrete answer on how to handle a situation, because let's face it, like there's no, I shouldn't say there's no, but rarely do we get in a situation in these custody cases where we can give you a guarantee. Like even me, I've been doing this for 20 years. I can't tell you like, if you do this, then this is going to happen. I can tell you the thing that's going to give you the most likelihood of being successful, or, going in the direction that you want to go. But my point is, you might not get the 100% solution, but even if you don't, you're going to benefit, because it's going to put you at ease. It's going to put your mind at ease. You're going to know like, okay, this person went through this. This person survived this. This is how they handled this. Okay. So those are the 5 ways, and I'm going to recap them here for you. The 5 ways things that you can do that are really easy to do to save money with your lawyer. Okay. Number 1 is review the contract. Okay. Number 2 is limit contact. Number 3 is keep your emotions in check so you don't get emotional. And I think Bryn commented about they're not your counselor, they're not your friend. And you better watch too, because some attorneys have done this with me. Like if I call an attorney on a different case, they'll keep you on the phone forever. Like I've had attorneys. I remember when I first started practicing, I would call an attorney to talk about a case, and we would talk about a case in like 45 seconds. And then they'd be like, So how you been? How's your family doing? How are you? How are you? How you know? And it's okay if they're not billing the client for it. But I'm saying you better watch, because like if you're on the phone and you think you're chumming it up with your lawyer, and then you had a conversation that was a minute of a valuable conversation, and then like 15 minutes of basically just like chumming it up, it's not worth it. Technically, under the contract, that's billable, but it's not worth it. So just be aware of that kind of stuff. Number four is learn as much as you possibly can, and you can do that through this group. And then number five is to utilize the social aspects of this group, which is basically the Facebook group. This obviously is a social aspect when you can interact and be social in these calls. And then for Custody Case Mastery 2.0, there's gonna be a social aspect rate within the program on each video lesson. Okay, and that's what I wanted to talk about today.